Hello and welcome once again to this aspect of math tutorials. We actually continue our discussion on fractions. We've looked at mixed fractions and how we can actually interpret the unique geometry behind the way we write the mixed numbers. In this particular discussion, what we want to do here is to just examine one direction where we have it in the mixed form and we want to put it in the improper form, because we will need this concept once we get into using the operations, addition and subtraction, on the mixed numbers or mixed fractions. So what do we want to do from here? Using the tools that we have so far in our toolbox, how could we process it from the mixed form into the improper form? We will not stop there. The next thing we also want to do is, having used the tool satisfactorily, could we examine where we actually looking at the top part and then looking at all the things that are happening to produce that unique top? Can we recognize that pattern and then take advantage of the pattern? So anytime we see it, guess what? We quickly know how to do without having to go through all that. Okay. So in this part, what I want to do is to pick an example and then we process it. And when we come to this part, we would also answer the question, can we recognize the pattern for the top? And by so doing, we are in good shape. Okay. So enough said on that. Let's take action. Okay. So let's look at the first one. We have one whole number, 2/3. Okay. Now, what can I do with that? This is what I'm giving. One whole number, 2/3. From the basic understanding, we are saying that this one is added to the fraction part. The number and the fraction part are brought together by the operation addition. This is the unique way we write it. So let's expand that. Okay. So when we expand this, what are we doing? Using addition, we'll have 1, and then we must add to 8 what? 2/3. Okay. All right. What do we do from here? We also learn how to use special one. So I can rewrite this one as what? 3/3. Why 3/3? Because if this is a fraction and I get this into a state of fraction, then the operation says addition. And the rule for adding will be what? That the bottoms are the same, or the denominations are the same, or the denominator are the same. And that is what makes it like. Okay? So let's take that next step and see what we get. So here I want to rewrite this part as what? 3 out of what? 3. And if I do that, guess what we have? 3/3 plus 2/3. And we move from there. The bottoms are the same. So what do? Write down one bottom. And what do we do from there? Is the first plus what? The second. Surely we can do that. The bottom does not change. If I have 3 sitting in there and I went out, brought in 2 more of the same thing or similar thing and added it to it, in all I have what? 5. Okay. We will not take the next step by breaking it down, because we are only interested in what? The improper form. And we said that when it's in the improper form, the top is bigger than the bottom. And look, 5 is bigger than 3. So we accomplished that. Okay. So this is exactly where we want to stop. Okay. This is the improper form. All right. Enough on that. Let's take the next example. There's a reason we pick the examples we are picking. So hopefully we can make that case. All right. So in my second example, what I want to do here, hopefully this will be a very fast approach because we have said everything we need to say. I'm giving 2 1/3. All right. How do I process this? Not too bad. If I expand this again, Using addition, what am I getting? 2. I have to add to it what? I have to add to this 1 out of what? 3. Couple of methods we can use. I can also choose to what? Put this 2 over 1, get a special 1 on this side, make the bottom 3 and move on. Or I can choose to put this over 1 and then what? Use the crosses. Use the crosses and move on from there. So let's do one of the many forms that we have. Okay. What can we say here? I can cross this and this, and move on from there. Can we do that? Sure. So we are going this way. Okay, in order to establish what we are doing. So on this side, I'm going to have what? 3 multiply 2. On this side, I'm going to have 1 multiply 1. And on this side, I'm going to have 1 multiply 3. Okay, so let's move on with that process. So the bottom will be 3. Operation is not changing. So here, what do I have? 6 here. I have 1 here. And if we move on, we have what? 7 over what? 3. That's what we want because the top is bigger. So we have, again, the improper form. Okay, so this is our mixed form. Here again, we have the mixed form. And then we've been able to get to the improper form. Okay, so we'll look at one more example. I think we have enough room there to do that. In the example 3, I have 5, 1 over 2. So what do I want to do? Okay, now we can see the full page. Good job. Let's expand this. What do we have? 5 goes to add what? 5 is added to 1 over 2. All right. Let's move from there. Let's do the same thing we have done here. What we want to do, actually cross it again and see what we can do. So I can put this over 1. I'm allowed to do that from our studies on what? Fractions, basic forms of writing and stuff like that. So let's go. Multiply this way, I can multiply this way, and I can multiply this way. So what do I have? On this side, I'm going to have 5 multiply 2. On this side, I'm going to have 1 multiply 1. On this side, I'm going to have 1 multiply 2. Okay. What is the operation? Addition is right there. So let's keep going. Here, the bottom will be 2. Sign doesn't change. This is going to be 10 here. It's going to be 1 here. Can we move on? Sure. We have 11 over what? 2. And this is the form we are looking for. All right. So I'm just using one of the many things we have learned to process that. But what exactly we want to do is not the expanded form, is to identify something unique about that. When you look at this, things happening, you realize that the bottom here is not changing if you compare both. Okay? So something is common because we want to recognize the pattern. But how do we get the 5? Couple of things. If this multiply this, I'll get what? 3 times 1. And if I add it to this, I'll get 5. Let me see the reverse. 2 multiplies this, 2, added it to 3. That also gives me 5. So which direction should I go? The one that works is what I want to keep. Okay? All right. Come down here and let's see what happened. The bottom is not changing. 3 multiply 2. and add it to this. What do we have? This will be what? 6. This will be 7. Okay, we got that 7. Let's see the opposite way. If I multiply first and then add second. So this time this will be 2. Add to this. That will be what? 5. That didn't work. So it worked in the first case, but it did not work in the second case. It worked right here. If you see 2, multiply this and add. That will be what? 2, 5. Go the reverse way. 3 plus 2, 5. But in here, look. 6 plus 1, 7. Do the reverse. Multiply and add. 2 plus 3, 5. This is 7. So it didn't, only one direction hold in both cases, and that's the direction we want to keep. So let's examine here again. If we go this way, the bottom is not changing. How does the top come? Let's see. 2 times 5, 10 plus 1, 11. 1 times 5, 5 plus 2, 7. So one direction is working, and that is the pattern we want to observe. And once we got that pattern, surely we can go and what? Write something that we can keep, okay? So what do we want to do here? Quickly, if I have 1 from here, if I have 1, 2 out of 3, and I want to produce 5 out of 3, how do we go about that? Here is telling me that to get the 5, all I need to do is to follow 2 things. First, I go in this direction. In that direction, it says I should multiply. In this direction, it says what? I should what? Add. So I multiply in this direction and I add in this direction. All right. Which one do we do first? It says do this one first and do this one second. That's not bad. What can we do? Let's examine that and see if something will come up. We say that the 3 is not changing, so we just put our 3 down. So what is working here is that 3 multiply 1, the result is added to the top, which is 2. What do we get? The bottom is not changing. So I'm going to have 3. I have to add what? 2. Continue. What do you get? Bottom is not changing. And that gives me what? 5 at the top. So yes, we produce the 5. And that is what we want to do. Because that works, we want to what? Make sure that what? We put that also in our toolbox. But don't forget, it must work for what? All of them. Okay? So quickly, let's go and investigate another one and see where we are. So here again, what do we have? We have 2, 1 over 3. And then we process this. We obtain 7 over 3. We have established that the 3 at the bottom is not changing. 7 is the new thing we obtained. And how do we get that? From here to here, we want to what? Multiply. From here to here, we want to what? Add. We want to do this operation first. We want to do this operation second. All right. What do I need? The bottom we say is not changing. So what am I doing here? The first part says what? 3 multiplies 2. So 3 times 2. The result, add it to what? The top, which is 1. Process it. What am I getting? The bottom is not changing. So I'm getting what? 3 multiply 2. That gives me 6 plus 1. What am I getting? I'm getting the top will be 7. The bottom is not changing. So here again, our 7 is right up there. It worked. So do this first, and then we go with what? That. All right. Now that it worked, we can put it in the ink. Can we continue? Absolutely. What do we have next? We have in here 5 whole number 1 over 2. What do we get? 5 whole number 1 over 2. When we process this, we obtain 11 over 2. In a unique way, we said, okay, the 2 didn't change. Our new number was 11. How do we do it? In this case, we say we'll multiply, and that should be our first thing. We say from here to here, we will add, and that should be our second thing. Okay? All right. Can we do better? Sure. The bottom is not changing. So let's go. From here to here, 2 multiply 5. The result, I should add it to the top, which is 1. Can we do better than that? Let's keep going. The bottom is not changing. And if 2 multiply 5, what do I get? 10. Add 1. That will give me what? The bottom is not changing. The top then gives me what? 11. Yes, we obtain the 11. So the pattern is that anytime we need to obtain the top, we just multiply the bottom and the whole and then add the result to the top. We would like to put that down as a general rule again. Okay. So what is the general rule? Very simple. Hopefully we have enough room here to do that. So general rule. If I want to move from what? The mixed case to the improper case, what is the general rule? The general rule says that if I have the whole number, I have the top, I have the bottom. Then I can make that move where in here I have the bottom, which we say is not changing. And we are saying that to move from here to here, we would have to what? Multiply. To move from here to here, we would have to what? Add. We'll do this operation first. We'll do this operation second. Okay. So let's see if we can put something down quickly here. We are saying that the operation bottom, I should add what? So no, this is the bottom. Multiply the bottom with the whole. And then we add the top. Yeah, I hope the multiplication looks like 1. All right. So what I'm trying to put in here as a way to quickly remember what is happening is that, yes, just multiply the bottom and the whole in this case, and then the result you add it to that. To some extent, I hope the logic is clear, and we can now put this also in our toolbox, and then whenever we need it, we can fall on it. Thank you again for watching. I'll keep practicing. I hope this helps, and if it does, let me hear your comments, and keep studying hard.